Welcome, Scorpio, to your end of the month reading for October. I hope your friends are doing great out there. If your friends like this, hit that big old like button and subscribe, guys. We are using the Halloween Oracle. And for those of you who celebrate Halloween, happy Halloween to everyone. Okay, hope you guys have a fun time. Keep safe. Okay. Okay, let's get in here and see what's going on with you. This message coming out. There's some deception when it comes to this situation. I do feel like whoever kind of wearing a false mask really showing their true colors at this time. Yeah. Looks like they're looking for a reconciliation, but you're starting to see their true colors. And where their true colors are, the grass isn't very green. So this is a card of reconciliation as well as planning and making decisions. But definitely they're looking out to want to come to reconcile with you, trying to figure out how they're going to make this a happy situation. But yet their colors are not looking very good over here, for they're wearing a false mask. So they're a little deceptive when it comes to what they have. So it's kind of like that scenario of, like, I met a guy or a girl, doesn't matter, and they told me that they're rich. They've got a Mercedes. They told me they make this much money, right? But then you realize they're in, like, super duper debt. Yeah, that's great. They live in a very small studio apartment, right? And it's like, that doesn't really bother me because, I mean, they live alone, right? So, I mean, it's no big deal. It's like them and maybe their cat or their dog or just themselves. No big deal. But they drive this Mercedes, and then all of a sudden you realize they ain't got no fucking money. They're lying, okay? Um, and if anything, they are more in debt than they could ever pay off. It's going to take them almost their whole life to pay off. Um, right, and it's because they're showy. They want people to believe that they're something that they're not. So definitely that could be the case scenario as well. But whoever this person is, they're definitely showcasing something that's not true. Okay. It could even be that oh my gosh, that they already have somebody. They may even be married or still living with someone, and they're telling you they're getting a divorce when they're not getting a divorce, or they may tell you they're divorced and they're not divorced. Something of the nature. So there's a lot of deception going on over here. They may even tell you they work for this wealthy lawyer's office, and they're like bigwigs, but then you realize they're the secretary, right? It's like, you're not the lawyer, you're the secretary. So however it is, this is definitely talking about an unfinished enterprise, they believe, look, they want a reconciliation because they believe that they want to reconcile with you, because they believe that this argument that you've had, has caused a lot of delays and backslides within the relationship. But the more that it's backsliding, the more you're learning things, guys. You're learning that their true colors are showing who they truly are. They might even say they do this and that, and they're drug dealers. You know what I mean? It's like, how'd you get all that money? Oh, I work for my pops and blah, 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 and they're slinging dope. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you've got to be careful whatever this situation is, because they're really going to show your true colors over here of who this person is. They're actually struggling a lot, and they have a lot of overstress, and they're getting caught up in their lies. All these lies are catching up to them, and they're going to be catching up to them. Okay, and that's what the problem is right here. And the more that's going on, the more you're going to find out about all these lies and all these true colors, that you are definitely not who I thought you were. They definitely want your forgiveness. Wow, under reconciliation is forgiveness. They're releasing some kind of pain. They want to move on from this situation. They're like, oh yeah, so you caught me in this situation. It's no big deal, because, and then you realize, excuse me, it's just one page after another page after another page of lies, deceit. This person, look at that, so many secrets. The secrets. And the secrets are going to start coming out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag. The secrets keep coming. They're saying that there's misinterpretations. Nah, that's a misinterpretation. That's not what it's all about. That's not it. No, it is what it is, and it's all bad news. And not only that, they may even be lying about having children. And here's a child card, I mean, there's just so many bad things going on here, my friends. Whatever this darkness is, whatever the secrets are, they're definitely coming to light, and you're going to start noticing them coming more and more and more, right? And you're going to notice that they're emotionally immature about the situations. Like this person's not even a mature person. Then it's just disappointment after disappointment and frustration after frustration and more conflict. You're even going to find out that they have conflicts with a lot of other people. They might be having conflicts with that ex, or with that, maybe that already wife at home that they're saying they're not married to, or, or they're saying they're not going back to the kid's mom and they are. You're going to find out a lot of different things. It even says there's lack of support. And I see children here, so they might even be lying about paying child support, and they may have a lot of backed up child support that they have to pay off. Okay, so there is a lot of conflict over here when it comes to this person. This person is not who they're telling you they are. Okay. There's a lot of hidden secrets and a lot of drama going around this person who's kind of dragging you into a situation where you're just now going to start really figuring out what's going on. It's kind of like once the book falls open, all the chapters start coming out, right? It's from one chapter to the next. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it could be dealing, King of Hearts over here. Could be dealing with a Pisces. I have Capricorn, Pisces. Could be a Virgo. It could be another Cancer, and it could also be a Sagittarius. Yeah, unsteady. There's no Wheel of Fortune here. Wow. That's a lot of bad karma, bad luck. This person's full of bad luck and bad karma, and a lot of the bad karma and the bad luck is really falling upon their shoulders. There's a lot of way down over here. This person, I just have to say, this person could be heavy into drugs. And you might not know that. I keep seeing it. That could be why some days they're lack of energy and some days they have way too much energy. I do see that though, because I see the burned out with the Wheel of Fortune with the lack of energy. And they might be addicted to some kind of upper. Could be alcohol though too, some kind of substance. Yeah, they definitely are being sly about the situation. There's a lot of cheating. But cheating could just be even just cheating you out of understanding what's going on here with all these hidden secrets and hidden motivations and all their who they truly are behind this mask that they're trying to make this personification of themselves, making themselves look better than they are, or hiding the truths of who they are. So you could take it both ways too, because you could say, nah, they never really made it better than them who they are. But there is a lot of lying, a lot of cheating, and a lot of sly behavior over here. Definitely a fox over here, and not in the right way. That's sly as the fox, wolf in sheep's clothing type of scenario. There's a departure and a breaking over here. They do see you breaking up with them. They do see you departing as you're pushing yourself away from them, and they're noticing this, but that's why they're trying to get your attention. This is why they're pushing on you so much harder, is because they are realizing that you're starting to understand the truth because the more that things start coming out, the more you're getting more truths. You could be getting these truths from a Gemini or a Libra or an Aquarius or a Scorpio. Maybe the person you're dealing with is a Scorpio. But there's this uneasiness that's coming that you're going to start feeling. And I really do feel like you already have a lot of this uneasiness anyways, trying to figure out what is going on. But they're starting to feel your uneasiness. Right, because it does feel like they're texting you, calling you, and the more you're finding out, you're like, oh, I can't today. I have to go to work or work an extra thing, or I told my sister I'd go to the gym with her. You know what I mean? Like you're making up all these excuses, right? Because I do see that for a lot of you. You're starting to make up a lot of excuses to why you can't hang out with them as more things are coming out into the light over here. The light always comes, out of the darkness. And then it's going to really push your, excuse me. It's going to really push your intuition. They are telling you that they are your soulmate. If this is a love situation, come on, you're my soulmate. You're my twin flame. You know that we're meant to be together. It's like, you know what? Yeah, maybe we are soulmates. Karmic soulmates. Yeah, because I'm learning a lot of lessons from you. Yeah, I do believe that we're soulmates. Very, very, very karmic. You've opened my eyes to a lot of things. Thanks for the learning lessons. That's what karmics do, right? So yeah, they don't want to change the situation, and they're not going to take any action on trying to change the situation. The only thing they're trying to change is the how do you say that? Like the dynamics of things. Trying to change the story. How about that? Oh no, man, that's that wasn't me. I wasn't cheating. I was taking my brother out, and I just kind of got caught with her in the car as I was taking her home after my brother. Okay, okay. Or those panties are not mine. Those were my brother. I let my brother use my car, and his old lady was in here, and she left her panties. Okay, okay. It's just going to be one thing after the next thing after the next thing with this person. And they're getting worse at lying. See, because what's going to end up happening here, if it's not already happening now for you, once your intuition opens up and you start seeing the light and you start seeing the clarity, your intuition, you're highly intuitive, you're Cancer. I'm truly understanding, having that breakthrough. Spirit says there's going to be a beautiful breakthrough. I soar into limitless joy, love, and light for myself. Seeing the light, see? She's grabbing that light because she can literally see now. So it's saying you can see. You can definitely see exactly what's going on now. Nothing is hidden in darkness no more. They can keep pushing that veil and pushing that veil and pushing those lies, and you're going to see right through them. I mean, it only takes a little bit of a clarity to understand, and once you understand one thing, then it all comes raveling down. Using the Halloween cards, we got forgiveness, reducing burden. Okay, so forgiveness is just like, just forgive them and move on. Don't, it does feel like it's a karmic. It's a very huge karmic soulmate over here. Instead of holding a grudge towards the other person and drinking their own poison, that's what the card says. Time to think about what it is you need to do for yourself. Right? Think of be the bigger person, and just, forgive them and don't hold the grudge. The negative energy is incredibly toxic. You guys are mostly empathic, so I wouldn't want to do that either. So just let it go. It's like drinking a poison and expecting the other unforgiven person to die. While we have the harbor. That's pretty extreme. Sorry, guys, that seemed very extreme. I would never say that. Remember, please, I'm reading from a book. I was like, wait, that's really extreme. We would never want someone to die, but we're just reading. Okay, we're reading the card. That was very extreme. It's a Halloween deck, okay? I mean, can we just kind of cut that and not say that? We would never think that. I mean, wow. Okay. Yeah, so we would never think that. So, you know what? Forgiveness is the best. Just release it. You know what? Wish them well. Good luck to you. I hope that whatever you're looking for in life, you will find, but it's not going to be found here. Um, wow. It is important that we move those feelings along to forgiveness and release as soon as possible for our own health and well-being. That's it. That's all I'm taking. Wow, the other one was really extreme. I'm sorry, guys. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have read it. I was just reading. That was Halloweeny creepy in itself. Ooh, Halloween. Sometimes you never know what these things might say, right? Okay, but anyways, it's just saying, forgive the situation, let it go. You know what? Because you don't even want to sit there anymore. If it's a karmic anyways. So break the chain, right? Break that karmic away. That way it's like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this anymore. The soul contract is over. I forgive you. Done and over with. If I had to put up with that in the last life, shoot, if I would have known that, right, I would have broke it then. So I didn't have to deal with it now. Yeah, forgiveness is the best thing. I mean, because what else are you going to do? This person's crazy. I don't know what kind of cheap tricks they're actually trying to do over here, but that's all it is to me, is just cheap tricks. Trying to trick the world. But it's crazy in the end, though, guys, if you really think about it. Really, the only person they're going to really trick is themselves in the end. Because everybody else is going to figure out what a fraud they are in the end. So then they have to deal with their own indiscrepancies in the end, anyways. And they have their own karma to deal with. Because what comes around goes around, cause and effect. This is, this is literally a card of Lady Karma. So, I mean, they're only putting out their own karmic, you know, bad karma. That is, we have two different kinds, good and bad. But this is definitely bad karma that's going to come back and bite them in their butt. So, it's kind of like one of those things, it's just kind of like close the doors and good luck to you, right? Yeah, exactly. Best advice is to get in your boat and move along to calmer waters. I mean, you do what you want to do. It's your free will. I would never tell you what to do. But from the tarot experience over here, it's telling you it's time to free yourself from this person because this person is no bueno. No bueno. There's a lot of disharmony, a lot of dishonesty. You need to put yourself back to where, you don't have to deal with such nonsense. And that's all it is. It's nonsense. And if it's someone at work, ignore them. If it's one of those things where it's like, well, I got to work, ignore them. Don't, no more planning dates with you. And get me in trouble. And that's another thing, What if they're getting themselves into trouble? You don't want to be a part of that. Okay, guys, wow, that was crazy. Until next time, my friends, keep yourself safe, keep yourself happy, and happy Halloween. Bye-bye.